So what do chickens need? Chickens need food, water, shelter, protection, and love. Love. Just like kids need love. Right, kid?
Yeah.
Domestic chickens are typically fed commercially prepared food that includes protein source as well as grains. Chickens have well-developed gizzards that contain stones to grind up their food. Like, it's kind of like in the front of their chest, but a little off to the side. Chickens are omnivores. They will eat seeds and herbs and leaves, insects, grubs, small mammals, small children. No,
what?
Kidding. Actually, I remember seeing one of my chickens, and the first day she was out, she kind of was going, and she got this little moth right off the side of the building. And I'm like, wow, okay. That was quick. She loved it. Protein. So giving table scraps is an option. Some people just want GMO, professionally processed grain, which is fine. But as my own backyard chickens, I give them table scraps. I just make sure I don't give them junk food all the time. So knowing what not to give your chickens is just as important as knowing what to give them. So do not give your chickens these things, which was a surprise to me. Don't give your chickens avocados. I know, weird. Don't give them chocolate or candy. Don't give them citrus like orange peels. Don't give them green potato skins. Mine don't even like regular potato skins. They're very fussy. They're fussy girls. Don't give them dry beans, junk food, or moldy food. Please don't give them moldy food. Would you feed your animals moldy food? Would you eat a food that's green? No. So don't give your girls that. Water. Everyone needs water. H2O. Make sure your chickens always have access to fresh water. They like cold water too. Apparently. Fussy. Make sure that they have access to a dust bath. You heard that correctly. Chickens don't bathe in water. They actually like rolling and sitting and throwing dirt on themselves to stay clean. They'll find like a little dirt patch and like get into it and like grind around and toss it up with their wings. Like look at an elephant when an elephant takes a mud bath. So, of course it's much bigger than a chicken, but you get the picture. So there's varying debates about whether apple cider vinegar is actually good in water for your chickens or not. I've given it to my chickens, haven't noticed any issues. They haven't gotten sick. So they say 1 tablespoon of apple cider vinegar in water to like, and that's my cat. Ten full-grown chickens will drink approximately 4 liters of water a day, especially when it's hot. Water is for chickens. Sometimes you can I've seen a video where you can actually get a big plastic jug and stick holes in it and put these little nipple things that the chickens can use their beak to press in, and then the water comes out. It's kind of like in that above picture. You can use that, or you can use a little container that the water comes out gradually. In the winter, you want to make sure that your chickens have access to the water so it doesn't freeze, because it's going to freeze in the winter, especially if it gets really cold. Always make sure they have enough water. So a heated waterer for colder temps is ideal. It plugs in. You just want to make sure that you don't have it plugged into a spot where it could potentially catch fire. Maybe make sure it's outside the coop in the chicken run. Or just check your water every couple hours if you have the option. Shelter, also very important. There are several ways that you can build a coop. If you have a pre-existing structure, a shed, a garage, something, especially now because it's so hard to get a hold of lumber. If you can, or you can design your own chicken coop if you're a millionaire. Kidding. Okay, so building a coop from scratch can cost about $1,000. I think that's what the one in my backyard cost. But that was during COVID, so it was kind of hard to get pressure treated wood. Shelter can be almost anything. Just make sure that there's no drafts in your coop. Wood chips are better for the outside of the chicken run than inside. Wood chips are bigger, chunkier. Wood shavings are like the little bits, and they're better for the inside because obviously they're outside, it's going to get wet. Or you can also use hay. There is a difference between hay and straw. Yes. Hay is grass, legumes, or other herbaceous plants. This is more expensive than straw because this is what you would feed your livestock. There's nutritional value in this. Straw is different, does not contain the seeds, grain, or anything that is edible, but it is good as bedding for your livestock. Now the problem that you can have is if you are using hay as bedding and you use your compost from that hay and you put it in your garden, then you could unintentionally plant wheat seeds in your garden. Additionally, your coop should have nesting boxes. Coop should be about 25.4 square feet per chicken. Make sure the chickens have enough room so they can be happy chickens and live, laugh, love. Love your chickens. The chicken coop needs to have proper ventilation, at least one vent higher than where the chickens are actually sitting or roosting, and the other vent needs to be on the ground level so that the air can flow around. Don't put the vent where they're roosting. The girls or boys, they can't be in direct contact with drafts. It's just not good for them, especially during the colder months. But there needs to be proper air circulation in the chicken coop. Just like when you think about living in your home, you need proper ventilation so that the bad air goes out, good air comes in. Otherwise, it could cause respiratory issues. How much ventilation does a chicken need? Quite a bit, actually. The general rule of thumb is 1 square foot of ventilation per 10 square feet of coop floor space. In colder climates, all open vents should be well above the bird's highest roosting point, and a cover so the snow obviously doesn't get in. And make sure that those vents aren't at the roosting point because you don't want that blast of cold air to hit the chickens. There can't be any drafts on your chickens, but there has to be that ventilation. Examples of chicken runs. There's many different ways that you can make a chicken run. You can build one yourself, you can buy one, or you can use a pre-existing structure and just build onto it. Just make sure you have an area that's large enough to accommodate all your chickens so that they have a place to run around outside of their coop. The coop is like a big bedroom that the chickens will go in at night. And if the chicken run is a place that they can exercise during the day. Think of like a jail. Think of a prison. Chickens can, go out in the prison yard and do some exercising and, do some fight with their neighbors. And my chicken coop and run. Oh, so this is my chicken coop and run. And you can see the video. Let's see, I'll just play it. And there's me. So I'm going to pause this right here so you can see. Okay, where's my little, let's see here. Right here is the actual coop. And this extended part, which is, I believe, 12 feet long, is the chicken run. Got some hay down there. Right here, you can notice there's actual 2x4s that are up high enough so that they can roost. Sometimes they're up there. These are just marshmallow sticks, so ignore those. They're out right now free ranging. And over here, I think I have a video of, that's where we collect the eggs. That is where the go in and lay their eggs. They normally only go in the same box though. So they have to go in at one at a time, or they'll be like on top of each other trying to lay eggs. I don't know why they do that. I think it's because they want their eggs to be sat on. So if everyone lays eggs in the same place, then they will know that their hatch rate will be successful. Must be some kind of T-Rex thing. Make sure the babies all live. Okay, so we'll continue with the video. Not much else, but there's chickens. And they're kind of neat.
Are you looking at yourself?
That's Mary Brown. I love Mary Brown. Chickens are prey animals, and anything will try to get a chicken. Everything, even humans. So poultry wire is this right here. You want to bury the chicken wire in the ground about 2 to 4 feet deep to prevent raccoons or other animals that will dig to get into the chicken coop. Yes, that was a video I saw on the news and found that clip on YouTube. So go check it out, because that is real and that can happen. But that chicken coop was built strong, and that's another reason why it's important to have your chicken coop off the ground so that those predators cannot dig under the chicken wire. A chicken tractor here. You'd want to cover the floor, if it's exposed, in hardwire mesh to prevent any unwanted visitors, muskrats or vermin of any kind. Motion sensor lighting. You can hang your old CDs pie pans, a disco ball, anything that will reflect light, which will deter birds of prey. From air attacks, just like how your grandparents used to hang up old pie plates and they'd bang around to scare deer. It's the same concept. Electric fences are fairly inexpensive and easy to install. Install safety shelters for free-range chickens, something that a hen can run underneath for protection from hawks. Another idea is to hang wire horizontally in a zigzag pattern around the area your chickens will graze, especially if they're already fenced in but have the fence doesn't go over top. Fishing wire. Hawks don't want to fly into fishing wire they can't see, so if it happens once, they surely won't do it again, especially if it's like in a zigzag pattern. Roosters, yes, good old roosters. They will protect their ladies. They will give their life to protect the ladies. So they're kind of the first warning system. They're always keeping an eye out for anything that could hurt them. Make sure that the chickens can go in their coop at night, that they have access to their coop. Because if they're out and about, then if they're out and about, then they might get hurt. Think about raccoons and how to get into your garbage bin. They're like superhuman. One of them got into my green bin once, and I went and put it away and then lifted up the lid to dump more garbage into it, and out popped this big head. Tell ya, I have a good heart because it sure woke me up. And the last thing is biosecurity. That's to make sure you don't leave out extra food scraps in the chicken run or outside that your chickens didn't eat, because at nighttime, those predators, raccoons, are going to come around, and if they smell food. So yeah, and make sure that you collect the eggs daily too, because if you leave eggs lying around, they could get broken or get rotten, and that could also be a big invitation for raccoons. Chicken treats. Chickens love eating food. I can relate. So give them something that they can have fun with. Different foods on a string, as you can see above. Something they can jump up to and eat. Examples: watermelon, corn on the cob, lettuce, apple, celery. Just not the list of things that they're not supposed to have. My chickens don't like bananas anymore. They used to, but bananas are a good one.
There is a lot of flies today, which is very lovely. We just had a huge rainstorm, and we need to put down some more hay, which we will do later. But it's pretty warm today. These girls are gonna hang out under here a little bit. I put sand down so they can dig around and they can, like, hi Nigel. What are you doing in there, Luna? Standing on one foot. Let's see if they follow me. They don't see me leaving. But I bet they'll be at the door.